Had to have it on fourth down. And who else?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Great pass, great catch. Gibby having a day. Lions earn the top seed and are now considered Super Bowl favorites after their impressive victory over the Minnesota Vikings in Week 18, 31-9. Aaron Glenn's depleted defense led the way, and Jahmyr Gibbs put on an offensive show. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Johnny Gaz. Thank you for returning for another video. The Lions will now get the bye before they start their playoff journey. Let's look back at the most recent matchup with the Vikings and look at 3 key plays. At the end of the video, I will give you the Lions Week 18 report card. Let's go. Let's jump right into our 3 key plays, and we're going to kind of jump in a few places here. This one is in the fourth quarter, 13:56 to play. Lions are up 17-9, and we have a 3rd down and 1. Lions are getting towards the red zone here. Again, early in the fourth quarter, Lions looking to separate, and this is going to be a sequence of plays here that will lead to a score for the Lions. I think this is very important to look at. One, Jared Goff, not his best day here at the office. He had 2 interceptions, but I thought besides that, maintained composure, and this is a perfect example of that here in this play. You also key in on Jameson Williams, who will get the reception on this play, and ultimately I think has become a very big weapon for the Lions, reliable with his hands. He makes big catches in big-time moments when the Lions really needed to have it, and this is a perfect example of this here. So let's first start by looking at the formation. This is one of those famous Dan Skipper reporting eligible situations. So you see him lined up here on the far left side of the formation. As far as the line is considered, you have Sam Laporta, tight end on the right-hand side, and actually a Shane Zylstra sighting far right. Then you have Jameson Williams in the slot here, and Jahmyr Gibbs has moved all the way out far left. You have Jared Goff in the shotgun on his own. So what I like about this particular play is Jared Goff is not going to get his first and or second option in this play. He's going to read right to left and read through 3 progressions here to finally find Jameson Williams. Let's look at it one time, and then we'll pick out some special things about this particular play. So you see Jared Goff take the snap. He's have to jumble around in the pocket a little bit, takes a hit, ultimately delivers to Jameson Williams over the middle there for a first down. Here's the end zone look over the middle to Jameson Williams. So let's take a look at a couple of the special things here involved in this play. So let's key in on a few things with this play. I think first off, the first option was to get the ball to Sam Laporta on the quick out towards the sideline. You're going to see Sam Laporta, who is right here, run pretty much direct to the sideline to get the first down. Shane Zylstra, which is to Sam Laporta's right, is going to run about a 7-yard turnaround. He's going to be locked up. The cornerback, I believe Gilmore here, and the linebacker do a good job in locking those 2 gentlemen up. Sam Laporta is going to be eaten up by the cornerback, and the linebacker is going to take responsibility for Shane Zylstra. So let's watch that play out, and then we'll pause. So right at that point, Jared Goff decides, okay, Sam Laporta is not open. You have Stephon Gilmore kind of bearing down on him. That's not there. You also had the linebacker pick up on Shane Zylstra. That option isn't there. So then you have Jared Goff reading through his progressions. And what I really like about this play is Jonathan Greenard is going to bear down on Jared Goff and really put a hit on him. He's going to hang in the pocket, wait for Jameson Williams to come open. He finds himself behind the cornerback here in sort of a middle zone area, and Jared Goff is going to find him right over the middle. Perfect location. Jared Goff has to take a hit. Let's watch it from the end zone angle again. Jared Goff is forced to stand in there, take a hit from Jonathan Greenard, and deliver a good ball to Jameson Williams. Solid hand, solid catch. First down, Lions. And here is key play number 2. This actually follows the play we just went over with Jameson Williams, where Jared Goff hangs in there and gets them a first down on a 3rd and 1. Here is the subsequent play. Let's take a look at the formation. We'll catch it right in the middle of Sam Laporta motioning across. You have, again, Dan Skipper reporting is eligible, this time on the right side of the formation. Sam Laporta first started off on this side of the formation. He then motions across. You're going to have Brock Wright in sort of an H-back or fullback position, leading the way for Jahmyr Gibbs, who is going to go around left end here. Let's watch this play out, then we'll pick out a couple important pieces to this play. So you get good seal blocks, good blocking downfield. Jahmyr Gibbs uses his speed to get in the end zone again. Let's take a look at the backside. Again, you see Sam Laporta motion across. Jahmyr Gibbs takes the handoff and really follows Brock Wright all the way around the left end past Tim Patrick and into the end zone. Let's take a look at a few key pieces to this play here. I think you first got to start with the left side of the offensive line. Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, of course, Frank Ragnow. All three of these gentlemen are going to shoot off. You're going to see Graham Glasgow try to get to the second level and take on this linebacker. Taylor Decker is going to do his job and seal off the defensive end. And Brock Wright, as the H-back or fullback, is going to lead the way and get a key block here on Van Ginkel, which again seals the edge for Jahmyr Gibbs. The last part of this, of course, is Tim Patrick, who we have highlighted several times in these packages as blocking downfield, being that final piece to completing or finishing a play. And then it's just Jahmyr Gibbs' athleticism leading the way. Let's stop it right there. As you see, you have Brock Wright leading with Van Ginkel. You have Graham Glasgow getting to the second level. Ragnow and Taylor Decker working hard to seal the left edge. And then, of course, you have Tim Patrick blocking downfield. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to do everything he can to get through that last defender, that last line of defensive safety, and he has no problem with that. On the backside, I think you get a better look at it. Again, focus on Decker, Glasgow, Ragnow, and then, of course, your H-back, your fullback, Brock Wright, along with Sam Laporta, the tight end. I think they all do a really fantastic job of sealing off this side, getting a lane for Jahmyr Gibbs to run through. And with Jahmyr Gibbs' athleticism, he's able to bounce outside. They get the seal blocks they need around the edge there, and there's Tim Patrick working hard downfield for, again, a Lions touchdown, which is able to separate them in this matchup in the fourth quarter. Now let's jump into key play number 3. I'm actually going to give you a two-piece here for this one, and I think there was a ton to focus in on good for the defense, and I wanted to hit on what I think was the difference maker here on defense, and that was the return of Alex Anzalone. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to repeat this sort of performance each and every week through the playoffs, but honestly, having Alex Anzalone back as the captain, sort of your green dot guy controlling and just being able to be the athletic linebacker that he is, allowing other players to play off of him, I thought was the difference for this Lions defense against Minnesota. And I want to highlight two key plays here into one. This was late third quarter. Lions up 17-9 at the time. This really shows Alex Anzalone's athleticism and what they're able to do then with their linebackers to play off of that. Sam Darnold struggled to get the ball to his wide receivers all throughout this game. That included his tight end, TJ Hockenson. You're going to see Alex Anzalone in this particular play right here lined up directly across from TJ Hockenson. That's going to be his primary responsibility here is TJ Hockenson. Let's watch this play out and just look at a few key things from Alex Anzalone. You'll get Jefferson's motion across the triplet pattern there. It's an interesting route there by TJ Hockenson. We'll see the backside edge of this as well. Melifanu kind of fades off and helps with Addison, and that leaves Anzalone on an island with Hockenson, and he makes a good play there. The Lions really put their secondary and a lot of their linebackers on an island in this matchup, committing to their one-on-one coverage as they went very blitz heavy. And this is a kind of a good example of that because Alex Anzalone is put on an island with TJ Hockenson. You're going to see Justin Jefferson's motion away from this kind of trio pattern. What Hawkinson's going to do is run sort of a wheel route into a slant pattern, right? And it's asking a lot of Alex Anzalone to change direction, change speeds, and then catch up to Hockenson here to ultimately make a play on this football. I believe Anzalone's actually beat on the actual cut there, but with Anzalone's speed, athleticism, his closing speed, he's able to make a play on the football there. And TJ Hockenson really didn't get much throughout this matchup, but a lot of that was due to these kind of key plays here of being able to use the Lions linebackers in a different way than in previous matchups. You saw the Buffalo Bills and San Francisco 49ers really take advantage of the depleted Lions linebacker core, and it's because of Alex Anzalone not being there, his athleticism and coverage, and then again allowing Jack Campbell to sort of play his natural position. You saw a lot of that here, and I thought it was a good example against TJ Hockenson in this incompletion. As sort of the part two or another example of this here came again late in the fourth quarter this time. Lions up 31-9, sort of trying to cap this game off. Again, Alex Anzalone doing a great job in linebacker coverage. This again is on TJ Hockenson. Let's watch this one play out. In this particular case, TJ Hawkinson's going to motion back into the line of scrimmage, kind of sort of off the line there in that tight end position. You see Cam Akers in the backfield with Sam Darnold behind center. In this case, you're going to sort of get a delayed pattern from TJ Hawkinson. Watch Alex Anzalone right here, keying in on Hawkinson. Again, this is his one-on-one matchup, and he's not going to relinquish where Hawkinson's going to go. He gives him absolutely nothing, although Sam Darnold's able to complete this particular pass. Alex Anzalone is on top of that. And again, that's pure athleticism. That's better linebacker play in general by the Lions, and it's really keyed in on Alex Anzalone's performance here in Week 18. Again, he's just reading what's happening in front of him. He sees the delayed pattern there by Hawkinson, and he makes a play on the football. Again, I thought Alex Anzalone was a huge difference maker along with the change in scheme. I think the Lions blitzed 60-some-odd% of the time, putting their coverage units in single coverage, and I thought they held up so well. What a great performance of this Lions defense here in Week 18. Now let's get into my Week 18 Lions report card for this victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Lions take top seed and win the NFC North for the second year in a row. Let's start with the offense. I gave them the grade of B+. I thought the offense opened up rather slow. They punted to open up the matchup. I thought the play calling was a little bit iffy to start the game, but they really started to get things going. And then obviously the second half opened up and Jahmyr Gibbs really took over. I thought Jared Goff, after his 2 interceptions, remained poised and confident. He was able to stay in there, make the necessary throws when he had to, and I thought was still good in this game despite the turnovers. Offensive line, again, I thought was shaky early. There were moments where Minnesota was able to get to Jared Goff. They do have a great blitzing defense. That Brian Flores scheme is no joke, but the Lions, I thought, did a good job controlling it, especially in the second half. And I thought the running game, the offensive line, really showed their strength towards the end of the game and really took over the will of the game towards the end there of Sunday Night Football. Now let's talk about the defense. I gave them the grade of A. I thought Aaron Glenn's scheme was just masterful against the Minnesota Vikings, forcing them in an 0-for-4 situation in the red zone and really made Sam Darnold look like the quarterback of old. They were pressuring him all day long. He was not comfortable and was forced into making bad throws all night long. A real great scheme by Aaron Glenn. I believe they ended up blitzing over 60% of snaps, putting their secondary in situations where they were one-on-one with Minnesota's weapons, and they held up so well in this matchup. I thought the linebackers were incredibly good compared to previous weeks. We talked about Alex Anzalone, and we spotlighted a few key plays where he was involved that allowed other players to really shine, and that was a huge piece to the Lions' defense here in Week 18. Special teams, not a ton to talk about from this matchup. I gave them the grade of A-. Jake Bates 1 for 1 on his field goal attempt and extra points. Jack Fox did well with his punting duties, and it was nice to see Khalif Raymond return to his returning duties as well as some time at wide receiver. And then coaching for the Lions, Week 18 against the Minnesota Vikings, I gave them the grade of A, focusing in on the Aaron Glenn performance defensively against the Vikings, holding them to 9 points in a not a must-win game, but a for-all-the-marbles situation game where you had to have a performance against a strong offensive opponent in Minnesota, and you really couldn't ask for much more. Offensively, again, they started slow, but things rounded into form. The playmakers made plays. Jared Goff recovered from his interceptions, and I thought Ben Johnson did a good job of highlighting Jahmyr Gibbs in every way, shape, or form, and he was truly fantastic on Sunday Night Football. You really can't say much more about the job that Dan Campbell's done in changing the culture of this Lions team. They are full force all the time. What they've done over these last several weeks with the depleted defense to be able to motivate themselves, get these guys not only as a next man up mentality, but just whoever the man is to be ready to play and to execute. And they were able to do that in Week 18 in perhaps what was the biggest regular season finale in NFL history, and you have to give the coaches all the credit in the world.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
So what did you guys think of this matchup with the Vikings, this victory 31-9, the 3 key plays we went over? What highlights would you like to see from this matchup with Minnesota? And what did you think of my report card here and the grades for the Lions here for this victory in the season finale? What a fantastic game it was on Sunday Night Football. Lions come out victorious. They now have a week off as they prepare for the playoffs and the divisional round. We'll have to see what happens in the wild card round this upcoming weekend. I'll have some preparatory videos for the wild card games coming up. We'll do some fun for members here on the channel as well. I just want to say thank you guys so much for hanging around. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. It's the best free way to help out the channel. I'd also love it if you consider subscribing. We're now on the road to 3,000 thanks to you guys. And if you hit the notify bell, you won't miss any future videos. More than anything else, make sure to take care of yourself and your mental health. That's more important than anything. I want to make sure you come back and see me on future videos. Thank you guys again. Have a fantastic week ahead. Go Lions.